So as Cam mentioned, I'm Amanda Brinkman. I'm with Deluxe, and I see some familiar faces from last year and some new faces. So for those of you who are new to the Small Business Revolution, I'll just give you a little context for what it is. So Deluxe started the Small Business Revolution 3 years ago to celebrate our 100th anniversary. So we have been in the business of helping small businesses be successful for over 100 years. And as we celebrate the centennial, we wanted to do something notable for that very community. And so we wanted to start a movement. We wanted to do something that drew the spotlight and the attention to small businesses in our communities. We wanted more people to support them. We wanted to give small businesses resources. Our competitors are very busy trying to sell them things. We just wanted to stop and pause and celebrate how hard it is to be a small business owner and to truly help them. And so in the first year, the Small Business Revolution, we went across the country and told the stories of 100 small businesses. And again, we did this all in the hopes to kind of start this movement to get more people to recognize how important small businesses are in our communities. And one of the things that we noticed when we were going on this journey is that nowhere are small businesses more under siege than in our small towns. And it's really hard for them to compete. You've got big box retailers, national restaurant chains moving in, and so we wanted to do something about that. And that's where the Small Business Revolution Main Street, the show, was born. And so what the show is we ask people at the beginning of the season to nominate their favorite small town, and people nominate them. The first year we get 10,000 nominations. This year we got 14,000, and then we put it up for public vote. And this year, after 1 million votes, Bristol Borough, Pennsylvania won as the town that would be featured. And part of what they won is Deluxe did invest $500,000 in that small town. But then we work with the small businesses within the community. And that's what the episodes are about individual businesses and what they were perhaps struggling with, where their growth opportunities were. Robert comes in and helps them with financial advice. We brought in other experts to help them with other aspects. I help them with the marketing alongside my team at Deluxe. And so it's kind of like a small business makeover show, all set in the context of this one town. Because we really want to prove this thesis that if your small businesses do well, your town will thrive. And so today we have a special screening of episode 2. So season 2 just launched today. And episode 2 is about Hems Truck and Auto. And it's about an amazing couple who are here with us today, Megan and Roland. And they have been in business for 10 years, but they were still struggling with some day one problems. It means they're doing something right. 10 years is a long time for a small business to be in business. But it meant that there were opportunities to improve, whether it was their operations or their process. One of the things you'll see in the episode is their customer experience is phenomenal, but it was betrayed by the appearance of the shop or their marketing, and so we helped them with those pieces. In an industry, auto, which kind of has this bad reputation, they have a heart and they are genuine and they are so honest. And so we wanted to make sure that their marketing and the experience of their shop also promise that as well. So without further ado, we're going to watch their episode. This gives you a sense for what each of the episodes are like. And then on the other side of it, we'll have a Q&A where we get to hear from Megan and Roland about what the experience was like for them. And Robert and I will participate in that as well. And we can tell you more about the show and the series and about where we're headed as a show. Okay, thank you. All right, here we go. Hi, Small Business Revolution community. We are so excited. Today is the launch of Season 2 of the Small Business Revolution Main Street. We are live from New York, where we just had a special screening with a room full of great journalists who came down to see the episode and to hear from us, those of us who are in the show. So to my left, I have Robert Herjavec, and I have on this side, Megan and Roland Hems, who are the stars of Episode 2. So today, Episode 1 and 2 launched, and then we'll be launching an episode every Thursday for the next 6 weeks. And so we wanted to have a chat about how, this is the first time that they had seen the episode, was live here. I was a bit nervous watching it, knowing you were right there watching as well. What did you think of the episode?
Absolutely incredible.
Emotional, uplifting.
Yes, emotional. But yes, inspiring. I'm going to watch it every day to get me through the day, get me through tough times that are still going to be ahead, but they're going to be made easier because of your help. So,
do you feel like it accurately told your story?
Oh, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm so glad the one remark that you made. Who cares about your degree?
Yeah.
Own it. And I've retold that story, and I'm owning it. So
It was so empowering for her.
Oh,
it
absolutely.
really
Oh, thank you.
changed her
Absolutely.
mindset.
It did. It did. It was
And she's
like,
owning it now.
hello.
There's a new shark around town.
Well, I think sometimes small business owners need that, though. You need that outside perspective, someone to come in and say, stop, you're doing a good job. You need to focus on this, but you're doing a good job. Feel good about it and focus on these pieces of it.
Well, you know, I think in America, especially, you have people who live in really big towns, and you know, and the media makes it seem so easy to make a lot of money, and you see big corporations and fancy educations and all this other stuff. But the bulk of people in America don't have a fancy education, don't come from privilege, and I think sometimes we're made to feel inferior because of where we come from and because of our means. And you know, you just got to get to a point where I don't care anymore. Like, you just got to do it.
And
you
use
guys
it
are
to your
killing it.
word as an empowerment. You know, I'm going to
Yes.
prove this perception wrong, and I'm going to be successful at it. And that's what's so great about this country, is that anyone can start a business and be successful at it. I think what's great is we really appreciate how honest and open you were, right? You let us into your house, into your home, into your business, and you were honest about the struggles that you had and let us tell that story accurately. And I think other people will watch it, even if they're not in the auto industry. I think there are a lot of lessons that we talked about. Focusing on your
definitely.
business, making sure your branding is consistent with the way you operate your business, both in your physical space and online. So thank you for allowing us to tell that story.
Thank you.
Thank you for
we
this
have-
amazing opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, huge
And you didn't
opportunity.
teach Amanda anything about cars. Yeah, fuselage, really?
Still think it's a blank.
I knew chassis.
Yeah.
We'll get you a new chassis.
We'll come to one of Megan's girls in the
My gals in the garage events, yes.
Yeah, tell us about
She'll
those. Those
school
are
you.
really great.
Well, we did our first one in April. It was a seminar / Saturday night with your girlfriends. I had one of the local wineries, and then it was all women-owned businesses, women-owned, their own entrepreneurships, I guess, and we did a little crash course in a spare tire
Wow.
demonstration, and then it was a Saturday night. So
I love it. Breaking down that barrier that it doesn't have to be as complicated, and you don't have to feel like your mechanic is talking down to you or trying to trick you. You can make it very real. And I think that was a really great marketing idea that she had to bring
a great
people
idea.
into the shop and demystify a little bit of it.
And we got a lot of great positive feedback. And some ladies stayed, I guess, after class, and we had a little mini session around under the hood of my car, actually. And I said, all right, here's your air filter, here's how you get to it, here's this, here's how to check that. And I had about a half a dozen ladies like completely laser focused on everything I was saying. Like, this is incredible that
See, and that's a differentiator.
I'm
We talk to small
empowering
business
you.
about that a lot. You know, how can you stand out? There's a lot of places that you can go to get your car fixed, even within Bristol Borough.
Yeah.
But that's a differentiator. If you can offer something that someone else isn't, if it's an experience that you can't get down the street, people will remember that. It makes your business more accessible. And I think a lot of business owners could learn from that example of, you know, figure out a way to make your business and your products and your services more accessible and unique because you're the ones who are running it. So I know we had a question over here before we got started.
Yeah, sure. The question probably for Megan, or Roland. Just curious. You said many times in the video, we should have done this. I meant to do this. Man, I went to do this. Why didn't you do it? I think I know the answer. But why didn't you do it? It took the Deluxe team and Amanda to push you to do it or help you do it. But many times you said we should have done this, or I wish we could have done it, or we didn't do it.
Well, hindsight is amazing. Hindsight lets you see all sorts of things. It's making the split decision in that moment of what you thought the best move was in that. So a lot of it was gut reaction, and then, oh, maybe we should not have or should have. So we're finding ourselves not saying should have a lot less now. So I think we're definitely learning from 10 years of mistakes and successes that we learn what works, we learn what doesn't, and we're trying not to repeat what doesn't and keep going.
I think that's very tempting, though, as business owners, to kind of get mired down in the day-to-day. You mean to take a step back and look at the business and what big decisions should we be making. You mean to, right? And then you just lose the week, you lose the day. And so we were excited that you were able to take that pause and really think about it.
I just came up with this the other day that we could only see today. we could only get through today, and that the revolution has shown us the future.
Oh, I like that. That's a good
Oh,
tagline
yeah.
for season
Sounds like
3.
such a soundbite.
Write that down. Yeah, wow.
Hi. Sure. Fantastic program. Thank you so much for both of you putting it together and participating. I am both a small business owner and a blogger. The hardest part and what I loved about the guidance was you valuing your time. And so I'm very curious, do you find that you've said, what do you find that you've said no to since the show?
Snow plowing.
Yes, I
Oh,
retired
you're out
from
of that?
plowing. Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, he was a little upset about
He was,
it, but
yes, the gentleman was
I
very
gave him his
upset.
ultimatum about having another driver in it, but he said he only wants me, and I'm like, well,
But that's an example where it felt like you were making money. He was snow plowing on weekends
side,
and
yeah.
well, when it snowed, but it wasn't. When we did the math, you weren't actually making money off of it, and it was a huge time suck, and it exhausted you because you have to do it in the middle of the night. And
Yep,
so
and then we were
that was a
closed the
tough
next day.
decision. You said can't do that anymore.
There's this theory when people start a business that any dollar is a dollar. And it's very tempting when you start out, when you have no dollars and you see a dollar, you just want to go for it. But as you get bigger, you realize what's more valuable than the dollar in front of you is your time and the opportunity to make many more dollars. And so that was an example where he was actually burning more time doing that than actually making money. But that's very common in all small business owners. They're doing things because it's bringing in money, and meanwhile, they're giving up a big opportunity to do something else or make more money somewhere else.
Or to outsource things. I mean, we talk about that a lot. You know, Deluxe helps with marketing. There's places where you can go to get your accounting done. As a business owner, you don't have to do it all. It's so tempting to want to wear all the hats or feel like you have to. But could that same hour be better spent thinking about the strategy of your business or updating your documents or other things that only you as a business owner truly can do and where you enjoy spending your time? So, I think I saw a hand over here.
Oh, my question was much like the other ladies. Hi, Delana Dixon, DivaGalsDaily.com. I was going to ask you, what did you streamline, you know, when the woman was telling you you should do less things and you were like, oh, I don't know about that, so you gave up snow plowing?
Yes.
Anything else?
depends upon really like what comes down the pike. Like there's certain different computer problems with vehicles. We don't have the software to reprogram them, so it's like instead of exhausting every ditch effort I have trying to figure out that problem, it's just going to be easier for that one particular situation, and I'm not going to lose the customer over it. They're happy to get their vehicle back faster. It's going to be a factory service thing that needs to happen. So here's an avenue, here's a number, tell them I sent you, and because that's
Right,
what
knowing
that
the right
particular
time,
shop does
too.
is just programming.
And I hope this is a filter by which you make decisions moving forward too. You know, we just stopped working together just a few months ago, or didn't stop working together, but that was when we shot this announcement or the final scene. And so I think there's still decisions yet to come that you guys will make, right? We hope that we've set you up with a filter for how you make decisions, as well as we hope you start making some of them now, but it's about how you think about it in the future too. So we hope to see more things fall off of that list and be more
Yes.
focused as you
We
go
are
forward.
slowly, we're slowly implementing all the advice, trying to remember all of the advice. But it's so hard not to fall into your bad habits because it's your comfort zone. So it's fighting against the comfort zone, fighting against the day-to-day, and just remembering everything that we learned and really trying to
Keep it, yeah, we're keeping the
not
shop
smoke in
moving
the building
forward and not moving backwards to where we
Yes.
were. We actually implemented a new bay. A customer of ours, actually, his truck was in the show, Bayard Pump and Tank. They gave us a lift. They just called us up like, hey, do you want this lift? I'm like, so we set it up now. It's a Streamline bay. It is only for inspections, quick jobs, quick turnaround things, so we don't have something clogging up a lift and then we can't do it, you know, and then we're doing it on the ground or telling the person to come back another day. So
Yeah, we
it'll-
also talked a lot about
great.
that too, right? Thinking about how long jobs should take you and thinking about the schedule versus taking jobs in as they come. Some things
Megan's been
are
doing great at
emergency and
scheduling.
need quick turnaround. We talked a lot about that process and thinking
Yes.
through time management. That didn't necessarily make it into the episode, but that was something that we had spent time thinking through.
So we have so there is a scheduler in our software. but it's in our software, so it's not in front of our face. So I have a real appointment book on the front desk, and then every day I go through the whole building and the whole parking lot. Okay, what's here? What's the status of it? What are you doing next? What are you doing next? Who do I have to call? Just really a status report, a daily status report of what is in the building. And you can do that in a quick glance, but we're writing it down now. And then, all right, go back, circle that. Okay, all right, great, check mark, that's done. So
I love the rigor around what you're describing, and that feels like such a different Megan than I met a few months ago, and I love that. That is awesome.
And what she's been doing is working out nice, especially for Tony and I, and we can just look at the list and go, all right, this is what Megan wants done here, this is what we have, and it works. It's been working
yes.
well.
Yeah, you know, Megan, your comfort zone is simply a learned response. Your comfort zone today was uncomfortable at one point in your life. It only became your comfort zone because you did it enough. And so to get to that next comfort zone, you just got to do it. And I mean, I bet you a year from now, this conversation will seem odd to you.
Right.
Like we didn't plan this stuff? Like, who were we?
Yes,
point.
who were we? Just looking at the shop.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It looked great on it. Yeah.
transition.
Hi, I'm also with Diva Gals Daily, and fellow Canadian.
Woo! I'm here legally.
My papers.
Is that why you were asking?
I had a question. Since this has been like a 6-month process so far for you guys, have you seen a sizable increase in business? And in terms of the event that you just had, were you able to convert some of the ladies who came in as new customers?
Yes, Gals in the Garage did provide us two or three regular customers now, and then we are getting a few new Bristol customers just because of the whole buzz of the show and everything, and the Yelp is really helping. One of the things that we were helped with was getting a real Yelp listing, being verified. So I think we're getting cold calls from people we've never seen before. So I think that's either from Yelp or from being verified on Google and
Directories and listings are one of the most cost-effective ways businesses can make sure that they're findable online, and it's so surprising how many haven't. And so one of the things we worked with right away was they were showing up, of course, on Google Maps, but or in different search algorithms, but they hadn't claimed the business, so they were actually listed as an auto parts store. So Roland would be getting these calls about parts. He's like, I'm not a parts store. Why am I getting these calls? And we're like, well, because you're listed
can I
that
get
way
1,000 spark
online.
plugs?
And so it was, and claiming your directories is free, and then you can control the reviews and the photos and the experience that people have when they're searching that way. So the directories and listings are huge, I think, especially in a service business where you're searching like that. And then, paying attention to listings like Yelp and things like that. So I'm glad that that's working out well. And I think after the episode, too, I think you're going to see
Right.
A spike.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's fun. Great
we're
question.
ready though. We're ready.
Yeah, bring it on.
Bring it on.
One more question in the back.
Hi, it's actually two. Benjamin Schmidt. First is one for you guys and one for you guys. Is there something that you consistently think about now, post working with the team, that before you make a decision, you're like, okay, does it pass through this? Does this work? Like, will this work in the context, like that long-term vision? And then for you guys, if there's something that in this season you're finding that small businesses are consistently doing right, that you haven't had to tell them to do it, it's just like something, a trend or anything like that.
Oh, I love that question. Do you want us to go first? Or do you want to go first? What are you
well,
doing? The question was, what are you doing differently?
Yeah, right. That's a lot of question. I think just the whole experience has made us rethink every decision. Is this really representing Hems? Is this really representing our business correctly? So yes, it does make us do, not a second guess, but a
thorough look.
a pause. We definitely pause instead of react. We
Which is
react less.
Yeah, which is a very typical of business owners, and that's a great instinct to start to try and change. One of the things that we've seen with the business owners that you don't have to teach is passion for their craft. right? You love fixing cars. The barbershop we worked with this year loves cutting hair. He loves the art and science of being a barber. Ramona and Marcellus, who run Discover, Learn, and Grow, they love caring for children and providing a different level of curriculum. I could go on and on. Everyone loves the thing they do, but what is also universally true is that the running the business isn't second nature, and that's something that they have to learn in equal parts in order to continue to do that thing that they love. And so what we love about the series is there's actionable tips for business owners, whether they're in the category featured in the episode or others, around how do you make sure you're focused? How are you thinking through your marketing in terms of growing your business? How do you understand what the numbers are telling you about the health of your business and what you need to be charging? And so that's what we love about the series, is it's kind of one part inspiration and kind of one part education. Maybe one part entertainment when I name car parts.
Yeah. I found the whole thing entertaining.
Yes.
I found it very interesting.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's what we love about it. And I think that's universally true of businesses across the country. They started their business because they were good at a thing. But to run a successful business, you also have to get good at running and growing the business to maintain it.
Look at Amazon. Amazon was started because Jeff couldn't find a certain type of dispenser that he was really passionate about. And he didn't understand why he couldn't find, remember those dispensers that you open up the head and Pez dispenser? Yeah. So he wanted to find a particular one. He didn't understand why he couldn't find it, because he was certain somebody out there had it. So the original idea with all that was to find a marketplace to do that. But now it's obviously, Amazon is this massive business taking on everything. So the passion to fix cars, to take care of kids, has got to be there. But very quickly, if you want to survive and grow, you've got to have the same passion for the business. And that's not intuitive to people. You know, nobody wakes up and wants to do accounting or marketing because it's not their core passion.
That's necessary.
A few questions, actually, folks. So first, for Amanda and the Deluxe team, when you see a business like Hems with multiple holes to patch, how do you determine the rollout and the speed at which you kind of address all of the issues in order to have that, cohesive presentation at the end of that? And for the Hems team, as far as Megan, you mentioned kind of building in that discipline and doing that daily status report, how has that impacted your stress level? Because seeing you at the top of the episode and seeing you now, you look so different. You look so much lighter. So have you felt the difference in adding in that discipline and being able to kind of take the load off of the stress that's been ailing you?
Well, apparently it's working if you can see it in me. Thank you. That's nice. That's a nice vote of confidence there that it must be working if it's visible.
Oh, it is, especially around the shop, the way you're taking charge and like you've really
it goes
stepped
back
up your role in
to
the shop.
your one little sentence. I know we worked on this for like 9 months, but your one little sentence of, that's nice you have a psych degree, own it. So I've been owning it. Plain
Awesome.
and simple.
I love it. She does. She seems like a different woman. It's wonderful to see.
Oh, thank you.
I think part of it is to run a business, you have to have that confidence that you can do it. You already feel like other people might be doubting you. There's competition out there. But the one person that absolutely has to believe you can do it has to be yourself. And so I'm glad that Robert's words helped you feel that way about it.
Tremendous.
To shift gears to your question about how do you determine kind of where we're going to attack the marketing and how to roll it out. In the scene where it's Bogey and myself, and we're sitting down and we're talking about the business and what you want to do, those scenes get, they end up being 2 or 3 minutes, but those are actually 2 or 3 hour conversations. And we went around on a lot of things about what you wanted to be doing. And Bogey said it well. She said, before we can do the marketing, though, we have to figure out what you want to be and what we're marketing.
She said, what do you want your business to be when you grow up? But she was absolutely right.
Yeah.
She was absolutely right. So it was another eye-opener sentence.
But we found that with other businesses this year and businesses that we work with all the time, that's one of the hardest things is just narrowing in that focus. The smaller you are, the more focused you need to be. What is it that you offer so that we can be clear about it and concise about it in the marketing and in your branding? So it was really important to not only identify that piece of it, but then also... Hello? It's Facebook calling.
it's bogey
Yeah, it's
calling.
bogey calling saying, you know what? Yeah. So the first thing that we did was really just get that solid answer of what do we want to be known for, and then how do we make sure that we're bringing the experience that you guys deliver in terms of quality, honesty, integrity to life through branding. And that manifested itself not just in the logo, but in the experience on the site, the kind of photography we use, the way we told their story in different pieces. And so we kind of rolled it out over time, and now it will all officially launch now with your episode. But they've already been taking a lot of things to advice. Elizabeth Anderson heads up social media for us, does an amazing job, and sat down and did training. And I've been noticing you've been doing a great job in social media. You're posting more, you're using some of her tips and tricks, and I think it's just about someone kind of coming in and explaining some of those pieces to you. But
A third party bringing it to light. We changed our hours. And if he would have said, hey, why don't you go in at 8 and I'll come in later, I would have been like, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah. But because Bogey said, how about you open it at 8 and he takes the baby to preschool, it's like, what a great idea, Bogey. If my husband would have said it, would have gone,
Yeah.
what do you know? So just little things like that really have made huge differences.
And that's what we really want the Small Business Revolution to do, is to open up people's eyes to the fact that it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to use resources, not only in other partners, but just seeking advice. I think a lot of times business owners feel like they have to have this certain posture, like they've figured it out, they know what they're doing. But I think it's okay to ask for advice. It is okay to, you have to
But
be
it's always
honest about what you're
changing.
struggling with. And yeah.
The day is always changing. Even, nuts and bolts don't change that much, but the industry is changing. The customer wants are changing.
The marketing needs are changing. And that's why
Everything.
we, like at Deluxe, that's why we love helping businesses with that piece of it, because we can stay on top of the latest trends and know the best ways to use marketing, and you can focus on fixing cars. So thank you so much for being with us today. It was so fun to watch the episode live
fun.
with you.
Yes, yes.
We're actually headed to Bristolboro tonight for another special screen. I'm so excited to get back to Bristolboro. So we appreciate everyone in the Small Business Revolution community and everyone in this room for coming today to watch this special screening and for your support of the Small Business Revolution and what we're trying to do with it. It's so much more than a show, and this is really a movement. We want people to understand the importance that small businesses play in small communities and in large communities. They're real people trying to live their dreams, and we love that if we're playing any part in continuing that conversation and encouraging support of them, that feels good. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.